speaking of best in the business, Hangman is clearly having a 2021 year, career year. And he showed it again tonight, just his dominance, a much bigger guy, Cesar Bononi. And when this match kind of got announced a little late, I was like, okay, we'll see Hangman really have a test with, a bigger guy, a much bigger guy. You're not getting this essential squash of a shorter one, but I thought this was a great fast work by Kenny. He came out of there, and just was nonstop. And I was surprised how quick it was, but it really made sense for the storytelling and just to really push Hangman, which I think he's going to get a push to the moon, clearly. And it was a nice little promo backstage, where with it, the Dark Order to kind of keep that going on with that. So I thought maybe we would see him at the end after all the chaos at the end, the shenanigans with the Hardy Party and the Hardy Empire, with all that happening. Maybe he was going to come out, but they got cut short time. Cesar Bononi, I think he's got a lot of potential, but at this point, not many people are on Hangman's level.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that this is one of those matches where it's totally okay to have that showcased, right? It's no slight on Cesar Bononi that he fell short to Hangman tonight. Hangman is, like you mentioned, he's on the ascent, man. After being Big Money Matt, and the trajectory that he's on right now, the sky's the limit. I think that we all see the writing in the stars. Hangman is going to become world champion one day. It's only a matter of time. He's quickly becoming one of the most, I think, easy to root for guys in professional wrestling. Especially his pairing up with the Dark Order, like you talked about, that backstage segment before the match, giving John Silver a little bit of that love. Whether you win or lose, man, all of us are going to be proud of you. All your friends are going to be behind your back. And that kind of when you pay attention to the nuances of Hangman's story, and we saw some of that play out in BTE this week with Matt Jackson and sort of the jealousy of oh, wow, Hangman finally found some real friends that are there for him. And you see the story of that. You see see what's happening to the Young Bucks and that sort of that breaking apart of what they know as best friends. It's really cool to see that Hangman has learned from his history, and you can say basically these guys are real friends. They're no win or lose, whether you're at the top of your game or you're struggling in life, your boys in the Dark Order are going to be proud of you. And that was something that always made Hangman self-conscious. He always felt like he wasn't good enough.
Right.
He was the odd man out of the elite. And so that I feel like that was a really nice little nuanced performance by Hangman. When it comes to the actual match itself, brother, as soon as I saw on social Cesar Bononi's going through some stuff in real life, difficult situation going on with he and his wife. And so getting this opportunity, it might have been in his head. His mind might have been elsewhere. And he might not have been able to focus in on really the most important match that he's had in AEW to date. But that said, he did get in the ring with Hangman and he got that opportunity on Dynamite. And I felt like I knew that when Hangman, this is what we saw going back to Hangman versus Wardlow, dude. When Hangman
I love that match.
I know. When Hangman goes against those big fellas, I think that there's something he likes that. He likes a little bit of that. He can throw his weight around a little bit more. He can throw a little extra oomph into those clotheslines and those strikes that we've fallen in love with Hangman. It's just that he can throw a little extra power into it, and you know that they can take it. He threw a heck of a lariat tonight where, that Buckshot Lariat is quickly becoming one of my favorite finishers in wrestling. I don't know if anybody throws a better one in wrestling than him. Good all around, fast match, but decisive win for Hangman, something that was needed. It's going to continue to build his momentum going forward.